The NBA is very clearly going through a new era, one that's different from Big Three, super teams, and repeat champions. It is now the era of parody. And if for some reason you don't believe me when I say that, you should know that for the first time in NBA history, we have seen 7 different champions in the span of only 7 years. And guess what? It's about to be 8 as well, because the Boston Celtics got eliminated in round 2. And so as for right now, at the time of recording at least, there are 4 different teams in the conference finals that all have their own chances at making NBA history. For 3 of the 4, if they were to go on and win it all, it would be the first championship for their franchise. Some of these guys would be young, leading their team to a championship. Other guys would be, I think 26 years old, winning their team a new championship. You also have the New York Knicks as that odd man out, who have already won a championship in their franchise history, but that was back in like the 70s or something. So really, it would feel like a first-time championship for every single team in the conference finals right now. And for some reason, that has a lot of people upset. Now, if you guys can't tell or you don't know my channel, I am a Sacramento Kings fan, which is one of the smaller markets in the league. They are terrible. They never win. They don't really get the publicity or, talked about as much as some other big markets. And that's just how it goes, right? Like, I'm totally okay with that. I know they're not the only team that gets that kind of treatment, but moments like this year where we're seeing 4 different teams, obviously the New York Knicks are a big market, but they don't win like a big market. So I feel like they almost have this like small market branding around them. So for what I'm about to say, kind of disregard them for it. But a majority of the teams that are in the conference finals right now are teams that have, like I said before, never won a championship or don't really get the publicity or the big market media attention as some other teams like the Lakers or Warriors or Celtics, whatever it is, right? And so these teams being good and being the last team standing have led to a really weird argument online. A lot of it is coming from just weird Twitter trolls where they say troll engagement baiting garbage like this, with this dude on Twitter saying this finals would genuinely be so bad for the sport. Now, I assume that this is just troll like engagement bait because he even commented under the tweet saying should be Lakers versus Celtics if Adam Silver actually cared about the fans. So I'm not going to take this serious, but what I will say is there are actual people who feel this way about a possible finals matchup. And it also just so happens to be a majority of big market fans who feel that way. If you go through the replies on this tweet or you go through any other tweet that kind of mentions how the ratings would be down if this was the finals matchup, almost all of them, I shit you not, I have gone through this, are Lakers fans, Warriors fans, Celtics fans, or some big market team that just didn't make it through this year or didn't have the successful season they have in history. They complain. They all say, oh my God, this would lead to the ratings being down so much, which pisses me off more than anything, because if you're an actual basketball fan, if you enjoy the game, why the hell do you care about the ratings? Why do you care about the viewer count, the viewer number? That is some shit that Adam Silver and the NBA heads should be caring about. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is if I'm watching good basketball. And you might argue that SGA being in the finals isn't good basketball. I understand if you don't like his game and you think that's a problem. That's not what I'm talking about right now, though. What I'm saying is if this Pacers and OKC Thunder finals matchup was real, that's what we actually ended up getting, this would be good basketball. This would be a fun finals matchup. And you might be thinking that I'm just getting triggered by some tweets and I am overreacting to just some garbage Twitter bots and, like I said, engagement farming. But my God, do I wish this is all that it was. I wish that this was the end. I wish it was just something that I stumbled upon on my timeline and I could continue on about my day. But no, it is even worse. It's not just the Twitter trolls that are doing this. It's actual NBA players. Marcus Morris, also known as the brother of Markieff Morris, has done his fair share of TV appearances, mostly for ESPN, Final Take, just random, bits on TV, random segments. And it is probably the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. So let's go ahead and watch these moments together, okay? I have a couple of clips that maybe you guys can tell me I'm just overreacting to, or maybe you agree with me in saying that he has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. But no more yapping. Let's go ahead and hop into the first one where he says that the Pacers aren't a good team.
Listen, the Pacers is not a great team. They're a good team and they're well, put together. But as we've been seeing, going up 20 in the past, great teams are putting this game away. None of these teams that are left are great teams. Anything can happen. I would say.
Even OKC?
Okay, I need to pause. We're only 25 seconds into this clip. I need to pause. He just said, he said a lot of bullshit, right? The Pacers aren't a good team. That's been a common theme where people don't really understand how good the Pacers have been this season. They have made back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances. And in a season where, like I kind of said with the intro, is all about parity. Things are changing rapidly around the league. New teams are emerging. For them to make back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances. Is that not kind of insane? Like, why are we saying that they're a bad team? But then he also goes on to say that they're good on paper. I don't really understand. But following that abysmal take of saying that the Pacers are a bad team, he says that there's no great teams left in the playoffs right now. And I'm sure the first team you thought about after he said that was the OKC Thunder and how good they are. Trust me, he talks about the OKC Thunder. It gets even worse. Let's just go ahead and let him continue this rant, though.
Great about them, but when we talk about great team, we talking about like the Golden State Warriors, we talking about the Boston Celtics, like we talking about teams like that, right? Like that's been proven, that's lost, that's been back to their.
Okay. So there's no good teams currently in the playoffs, but the great teams, the good teams that he's talking about is teams like the Warriors and Celtics. I want to say that he's only putting the Celtics here because they made the finals and then came back again recently to win a championship. And he's saying the Warriors because they won a championship, you know, they have their whole dynasty, whatever. Even though their team has drastically changed, the only thing that stayed the same really is Curry and Draymond, if you want to look at like the big picture here. But one of the points that he literally made earlier in this clip was that the Pacers are a bad team because they gave up a 20-point lead at home. But then he goes on to say that the Celtics are one of those great teams. Marcus Morris, I have really bad news, but if you watched the second round of the playoffs of Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks, you would see that the Knicks actually choked 2 games at home where they had a lead of at least 20 points. So really, what the hell does that even mean? Apparently to Marcus Morris, there's no good teams left. The Celtics and Warriors are the only good ones, even though they got eliminated in the second round and got pretty much dominated in both series. But let's just move on, right? Because he has another clip from April 3rd of this year where he talks about the team that he thinks is going to be coming out of the Western Conference. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
I got him coming out the West. Let's be frank. Adding Luka Doncic really changed it. LeBron can come off the ball. Austin Reeves is playing really, really well. I don't know why you're looking like that. I don't know why you're looking like that.
I mean, just like that.
Luka Doncic just did it. He just did it.
Okay.
He just did it.
Okay.
They kind of cut off the clip a little bit, but he's basically saying that he has the LA Lakers coming out of the West. I'm assuming, and he says it in the clip, but mainly because they got Luka Doncic and because Luka's playing with LeBron and Austin Reeves has also been good. I said this before we even saw the series. But if you thought the Lakers were going to make it anywhere near a championship this season because they just magically got Luka Doncic like gifted to them, and I hate using this word, I never say this word, but you're a casual. I never say it. People act like because Luka Doncic went to the finals last year with the Mavericks, he has magically unlocked the ability to do it every single season, and they failed to realize how good that team was around Luka. Like, not necessarily putting superstars around him, right? It wasn't like they built a super team around Luka, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying they actually built pieces around him that fit Luka's play style, that play to Luka's strengths and abilities and make everyone around him better, something that the Lakers, not knocking them for this, but they didn't have time to do that. They didn't have time to build that team around him because they got a mid-season trade. So to think that he was going to go off and win a championship just because he's playing with a 40-something-year-old LeBron, like, what the hell are we talking about? And then I'm not even going to play the clip because it just pisses me off so much. He goes on to say that he has the Clippers over OKC and that he doesn't think OKC is good. This is a guy on This isn't even just a guy. I'm going crazy. This isn't just a guy on TV. This is a former NBA player on TV saying these things. And you know what? His takes about OKC get even more ridiculous. Let's go ahead and watch this clip.
But is this your pick to win the championship?
It's not. It's not. This team is not deep enough, right? You have to talk about the depth. You have to talk about the guys that actually been there. When you talk about the lights, this team has been healthy all season. Seeing what it's like to get to the mountaintop and getting knocked down and have something to prepare for in the second season. They do not have enough guys that's been through that.
I think it's slowly starting to come to light. Like, we all kind of see what I talk about, though, when I say that these are just big market people that only watch the Lakers, only watch the Warriors, only watch the Celtics. This guy just said that the Thunder were healthy all season, which is false. Then he says that they have never had any big moments. They've done it in the regular season, but they haven't done it in the playoffs. This is one of the biggest things that has irked me with how people talk about the OKC Thunder. Do people forget that they were one bad foul away from making it to the conference finals instead of the Dallas Mavericks? SGA fouled, I'm pretty sure it was PJ Washington on that three, if I'm not mistaken. That basically, gave the Dallas Mavericks their win and advanced them to the next round. I always say, if that didn't get called, or if SGA didn't go and to commit that foul, things would be a lot more different right now. You don't know what the future would look like. You don't know what the Dallas Mavericks would look like. Like, so many things would change. So to say that they have never been there, to say that they have never played under those bright lights is absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention, they have acquired guys like Alex Caruso, NBA champion. You want to talk about guys that have been there before? Guys that have reached those heights? Alex Caruso won a fucking NBA championship and is one of the biggest pieces on this team, especially when talking about depth. They are one of the most depth-built teams in the league. And we're saying they are not deep enough to win a championship. I don't know how long I've been ranting about this. I just need to make a video talking about how people truly just don't enjoy the game. It irks me so much because think about how long the NBA has been around for. Like, it has been, I think 1951, 1950 was the first year it was made or something like that. And we are just now getting to the point where we see 7 different teams winning championships in 7 different years. Think about how long the league was dominated by certain teams, and now we might be coming to an end on that era because there is so much good talent around the league. Teams are built so good that the chances of them repeating are the lowest that it's ever been. And so for that to be the current state of the league that we're in, and there are still people, whether it's Twitter trolls, whether it's Instagram comments, or genuine reporters on TV that discredit that and pretend like it should just be the Celtics every year, should be the same teams going back all the time, is genuinely disgusting. That being said, hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Sorry if I crashed out or ranted a bit in this video, but this shit genuinely pisses me off. That being said, go down in the comments, leave your comment down below. I read and respond to everybody. Like the video and subscribe while you're down there as well, as it does help out the channel a ton. But I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.